Bizarre is intended for mature, open-minded audiences only. If you are easily offended, we suggest you turn this wacky shit straight off.
I almost said, well, we can just bag it. You know, we don't have to do it. Lyle's not feeling good.
No,
I'm in the middle of Comet Week. John Mark, but God, we just missed so many weeks, and I needed a fucking break. I just wanted to hang out a little bit.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, that's the only reason I do this is I get a little fucking time to you guys. But
yeah,
man, I get that. It's been a really fucking intense few weeks, and you've got a lot going on always. You know, and it's amazing you've squeezed as much time in for this as you have.
Well, I think I could do more than I have if I just got a little bit of my non-podcast life dialed in. But it's just like, there's nothing, you know, the magazine is on other people's schedule. It's not on mine. I mean, I can give them the deadline. Now, they show up, awesome. But when they don't, well, then I got to bust something out, as was the case very night.
Damn, man.
But, Lyle, you with us? I know you're with us, but are you with us?
Is that a dialysis cough or a weed cough?
You're way off in the distance. Come a little closer to the mic if you can, or maybe you got to turn something up.
You're speaking into the bong.
Come a little closer.
Speaking of
dude. I don't know.
Go ahead.
But, I just been sick.
Oh, sick?
Last 2
Did you get a
days.
cold?
No, I don't know what it is. It's like last 2 days. I can't think right. Everything's all foggy and shit. I got out of dialysis today and I sat in my truck for fucking an hour and a half.
Yikes.
At home. Yeah, because I couldn't get up. I couldn't get out of my truck.
Not good. Well, hopefully you feel better. Whatever the fuck. There are so many bugs going around right now.
Oh my god, yeah.
I'm terrified of this fucking flu that's going around. That sounds gnarly.
People are fucked up. My kid had croup a couple weeks ago. Oh,
did he?
Fuck yeah,
gnarly.
It's like a bad cough.
Christina was downstairs doing some laundry. You know, I let them use my utilitize
for a price.
Well, it might be the prices on me because I heard some coughing down there, and I'm like, oh god, I have way too many things to do this week. I cannot get. I've been holed up in my. I mean, it's Comet Week anyway, so I've been putting the magazine out. And I'm usually a homebody that whole week. Anywho, but especially so because everyone's getting sick, and it's just like, I got to get through this week. But I heard her coughing down there, and I was like, I texted her while she was still downstairs. I'm like, did you just bring the plague into my fortress of solitude?
I bet she was sweating when she read that too. Like, fuck.
We're about to be evicted. But she said that she had a cold.
Caleb, you're going to have to suck his dick.
She had a cold, but now she just has a lingering cough. And it's like, yeah, everything's going around, but I'm extra paranoid about it at the moment. I got to brag a little that this is the 50th issue with the Comet magazine that I'll be putting out this week. Haven't put it out yet. I'll be putting it out after this.
Congratulations, man.
Thanks. It's much like our podcast numbers where it doesn't mean anything to anyone except the people doing it. But you can, for someone who's twice divorced, you can't say that the roster doesn't stick some things out. 450 podcasts, 50 issues of a magazine.
I was telling someone that today.
That's impressive.
I was like, boy, you've done 450 episodes of a podcast. And they're like, wow, you guys must be really good. And I was like, yeah, we are.
Occasionally.
We are good. We're great whenever we show up.
She's like, people must really like you guys. And I was like, some do. Yeah.
Our numbers are still pretty fucking... listen, we just missed, 3 weeks in a row?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe it's even a full month by the time this comes out. I don't know. I lose track. But, you guys all know the drill. We do it when we do it. We try not to miss. We had every reason tonight to miss the show, but we're like, let's just get together, just hang out, a little work break, a little ray of sunshine. But yeah, it is fun to have ongoing things, and the Comet, I don't know, maybe it'll make money someday, maybe it won't, but it has changed my life. It's a lot like Radar Station. Maybe it would have made money at some point, and maybe it won't.
Well, it's gonna get there. It has to, man. It seems to be growing. People like it.
It's growing, quite a bit still. And I'm like, wow. That's the other thing. I can't. No, I shouldn't go down that road. But I was
just go down that road.
Well, there's a few local publications that I've been curious about what their numbers are, and I got an inside source to what those numbers are. And I would have guessed that these publications would be way bigger than mine. They're not, and they're bigger, but they're not way bigger. And that gave me a couple of feelings. First of all, it was like, God, print media really is dead. But secondly, it's like, I can ride that dead media wave all the way to the...
Dead's still better than what Ron was making.
Right. You know what you need to do is just get those advertisements of like Butterball fucking turkeys.
You know what's funny is I have thought about reaching out to, national campaigns are a thing. I don't know if they'd be impressed by, we print 2,000 issues in a 3,000 overprint for a separate insert. So, those aren't nothing numbers, but I don't know how impressive that looks to Butterball or, there are definitely some corporations I wouldn't want to reach out to no matter what they were offering me because, I have to sleep at night to some degree. But let's not be too hasty. Like, what could
possibly be? How close are we to Ron's mortgage date? And where's the line drawn?
Here's the conversation.
$600, Sam.
Okay,
sold, Nestle.
Ron, you can sleep. You can sleep very well on a very luxurious mattress with strippers, or you can sleep on a very luxurious piece of cardboard in the back of the fucking old alley.
Yeah.
There's ways to look at that.
I understand. And Chris's point is valid. How close am I to mortgage? Or far away, depending on how you want to look at it. But, I have thought about reaching out to national campaigns and see, look, this is a fucking niche. It's up here in central Washington state. You interested? I mean, they got so much money to throw around. Maybe they would. Or more than likely, they'd be like, wouldn't even answer the email. But... My first hope is to hire someone to figure all this out for me. You go handle advertising shit. I've worked in advertising half of my life, and I don't think I'm good at it. I'm good at coming up with certain ideas, but selling and pitching and going to cold calls and that stuff, that ain't me, bruh.
But let me ask you a question. What's the half-page ad costing Common right now?
A half page, $250. I think $250.
What was a full page?
Full page is $300 on the inside, $500 on the back.
All right, my birthday's coming up. I got a little idea. Will you put something in there sight unseen, or what's the deal?
I will never. To a stranger, I would not agree to that, and somehow even less to one of my best friends would I not agree to a sight unseen Christopher F. Hart ad.
What if I just take out a fucking full page ad, and I'm like, you charge me full price for this? And then, like, day before, you're like, I'm waiting for the art. I can't wait any longer. And I'm just like, here it is. And it's just you in the bathtub with some fucking scripty font over it. Like, my love, my baby.
Nice.
Well, this goes back to your question.
Space.
How close to mortgage am I?
Yeah, I'm going to wait till you're really hurt.
Over my dead body. Oh, boy, that's $500. That's $500 money in the bank.
You just walk of shame into your laptop, hit the publish button.
Just like slowly flip it up.
One tear rolls down to your gap tooth. What? Just dead in the eyes.
One deposit to the bank. One transaction out of my soul. It's always collateral. Yeah, no, it is a tricky thing because you got to fucking make a nickel. But yeah, you do have to have some standards.
Whew, I missed you guys. Feels good to be laughing.
Yeah, that's what I needed too after a ton of fucking work. We're supposed to get a shit ton of snow tonight, so I had to do some extra running around today. Yeah, I think, the storm watch started at 4, and I don't see anything out there yet. But we're supposed to get between 8 and 12 inches.
My old
That's what she said.
My old landlord, they must have got that fancy fucking driveway with the heaters underneath because they always post their humble brag photos of how they don't have to shovel. But it's amazing to see.
It went at
you? It's what is it? It's God, I was just talking to a guy about it the other day.
They like install it under the pavement and it heats up the pavement just enough to melt the snow.
What it is it's PEX, right? So like that plastic you use in like hot water tanks.
Just run hot water through it then?
Well, pretty much. They have designated water, like hot water tanks.
Is that true? Is that how it does it?
Yeah. And then they coil it like a coil, and then they pour concrete over it, and then when it's time, it flows. Yep. It flows right back into the hot water tank.
That seems like a pretty clever and simple solution, really.
Oh, it's been
I imagine like electrodes and
that's what I was thinking too.
Heating
like
coils.
Isn't that what they do like for flooring? Like it's like a heating coil, right?
They do in some, yeah. If you're doing tile.
That's right, heated tile. I remember the first time I walked on heated tile, I was like,
you're like,
you
oh
fucking
my
pussy.
God.
Oh my Jesus Christ.
I never knew. It's so fucking good.
Oh, it's called radiant heat. That's what it's called.
Oh, nice.
I'm trying to think about it.
Yeah, I rely on that. A lot of people rely on my radiant heat over the winter months. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, well, John Mark is en route, and it looks like he was going to hit some traffic snafu. I don't know if they got snow over there, but so we will move along. I got a couple news stories I wanted to talk about, but before we do, there's been a lot of life doing. So if you guys want to toss in,
got a lot of life going on here.
Mm-hmm.
The you guys know I rejoined a gym.
Yeah, man.
And I've been really clean. I'm staying away from people.
Well, I think you just figured out where your 10 pounds came from, baby. Get swollen.
Yeah, it's all fucking muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it can be too.
Yeah, see, I knew it.
Well, because a lot of my muscles went to atrophy in my back and everything. They shrank.
Sure.
Because there was no exercise.
Activity.
No activity.
Yeah.
But they have these. I'm talking about Planet Fitness, and I'm sure most everybody's got one in their backyard somewhere. But they have this. It's called this hydro bed, and what it is, it's like a mattress, right? And if you can imagine, back like in the 1920s, like when a cop finds you, the old gunslinger finds you, and they chalk you out on a body, they chalk your outline.
Yeah.
The mattress is kind of like that. So it's got a body cutout that you recess into it. So you're kind of recessed into this thing. And you can control the pressure of the jets, and you could the speed and ratio and all that stuff. You can control it all. And it was the most amazing thing in my life. I want one so bad because it's just like it starts at your feet, and it's like, and it's just nailing these jets from it's all waterproof, but it's pushing your legs literally out of the mattress thing. It's so intense. I had it all the way up, and I went from like the middle back to my neck quite a bit because that felt the best. But I swear to God, dude, I swear to God,
I'm having a hard time picturing this thing. What's it called? Hydro bed?
It's just a hydro mattress. It's for try Planet Fitness.
Yeah, I'm getting water beds.
Yeah, try Planet Fitness and then hydro bed. Or hydro massage. And so
okay.
It gets to a point where it kind of gets to your butt, right?
Sure.
And you're like,
ooh, now we're getting to the money.
Well, you got a little TV to watch.
Yeah, but it's like, oh no. Because it feels it. Oh, I swear to God, it feels like you're going to get an enema, dude. And there's no way you're going to.
Oh, no.
It's just a sensation.
Suddenly, Lyle's a TikTok sensation.
No. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Huh.
So I kind of kept away from that part of my body.
Sure.
But it was pretty awesome. They have a lot of, I don't know, it's that technology, and they have a stand-up. It's kind of like I would say a tanning booth, but it runs with a lot of red lights, and the red lights, I suppose, are supposed to help with scars and help with other things. Your skin, it's supposed to tighten it up a little bit, but so you put your 2 feet on top of these things, and then you crank it up, and the machine tells you do not lock your knees. And you're like, oh, okay, so I'll just kind of squat a little, and that thing just fucking goes. You're like just a giant vibrator. It's like like in the old days where they had ladies with the belt machines.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it felt like. And I'm just like, and you're naked. I mean, if you want to be.
Sort of slowly turn around, face the other direction. It's like, now I know what this is all about.
Well, no, you're enclosed in a room, you know. So.
Sure.
You could wing-ding it out. It doesn't matter. They don't care.
Wing-ding it.
That's dangerous. You see, when you got those fucking Jubilee Jews fucking swinging around like that, that's fucking dangerous.
Yeah, swinging in low chariots.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this makes me wonder how many employees with the old key code have gone into these gyms after hours and just fucked on all these devices. It's got to be a pretty high number, right? Oh,
there's got to be a few. I mean, it's got a weird hourly setup where it's not open 24 hours a day, but it is open sporadically 24 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably get away with doing it yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's a busy night or maybe not so busy.
Just bringing a guest, sneaking one in with you. Or?
There's chairs in there. Just say, hey, well, she wanted to see what it looked like, so I fucking brought her in.
Oh, that's a whole different. Yeah, the number's got to be exceptionally high. I mean, people are always fucking everywhere. But it just occurred to me that gyms offer a slew of interesting devices that would set you up in interesting angles and positions and.
Oh, dude, why do you think I go?
Balance and counterbalance.
Well, like in showers.
And showers, yeah.
Those showers, both male, female showers and stuff. So.
More like Planet Business, you know what I'm saying? They're done in there.
Get it done.
I sure hope they're cleaning them shits.
Well, there was a gym that was real popular for that back in the 90s. It was the one here down by the bar, down here on Eastmont Valley Mall Parkway.
There was a fuck gym?
Yeah, dude. Because you got a key. It's 24 hours a day. And, like, you go to the bar and you're like, well, I don't want to take this bitch home. She's fucking crazy. And or you might be, on a
from
bad
one door to the next. Oh, I remember that gym.
Yeah. And you might be like hard on your luck or something. Like, fuck, I don't want to take this chick to my mom's house. So you just take her there. And they had jacuzzis and all that shit there.
You want to make a bad decision, but not the full bad decision. Sure.
Exactly.
Just the starter bad decision.
Yeah. You want to rent.
Yeah.
Let's leave this decision for a bit. See how we like it. We feel about it.
And if this makes us sound like terrible people, that's only because we are.
Yes.
I'm sick, so it's one of those.
Yeah, Lau's got an excuse here. No, I meant, well, anyway.
What do you mean?
No, that we actually sound terrible, like terrible human beings. But
can I tell you about the cookies I bought?
I wish you would.
I went across town. Because I was trying to puff a little bit to get over my pain and my suffering of all this bullshit.
Absolutely.
And it really wasn't chalking up the bill. You know what I mean? It was making me cough up blood and nasty crap. And it's just because I'm an old smoker, and I hadn't smoked in 4 years. So like smoking the pot does.
Oh yeah. You meant smoking it.
Yeah. So it's not the good way to go. And so I was thinking, I was like, hey, I'm going to go across town and I'm going to see if they have any edibles, because we all love edibles. And they had these cookies. They're 10 cookies for like $20. So it's, it's only $2 a cookie, but they're like 100 milligrams. Which
not a cookie, so that's to be 10 milligrams a cookie, right?
Oh, it's 100
per cookie. I don't think they can legally sell that. I think
100 milligrams.
It's 100 total. They can't sell more than 100.
Oh, that might be
milligrams.
It too.
Yeah.
That might be it too. It's part of the advertisement. That's why the reason why I bought it.
Oh yeah, that's how they get you.
It's it's kind of like old timey, 19 I don't know, 40s kind of advertisement. So. But anyway, I took one of those. I'm like, I'll be fine. I know how to do it. I'm just going to eat one and I'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to eat another one for a while, if
See
at
how
all.
You feel,
Mm-hmm. And as soon as about 45 minutes kicked in, they kicked in. I'm like, oh, no.
No, I always wonder how I would fare with any of these modern pot contraptions. Because I've never even done an edible. I mean, if you want to count a pot brownie from 1995, and you shouldn't, because that has no relation to what the kids are chomping on these days. But yeah, I've never experienced any of that. And yeah, I don't know if I'd like it.
I was just looking at this, Chris, and you're right. They're 100 mil. They're 10 milligrams.
Yeah, the 10 milligrams pop. Yeah. They can't sell more than that. Ron, edit this out if you need to, but I'll never forget that video you sent us once where you were high on something and you were at like a rodeo or something, a fair or something. Is Eastern Washington? I don't know what. All you did is you took. I've talked about this a few times, but you were making a video of your own face. And it was like 16 seconds long. And in that 16 seconds, I saw joy. I saw fear. I saw abandonment. I don't know. Like it was incredible. I was like, oh my God. I'd love to see you stoned with me. Oh, that's bucket list shit, Ron.
The only thing I can think of what that would have been that Rails and Ales, which
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that was the last time I was like around a bunch of people on LSD. Was I trying to get a woman who just dropped her hamburger in the frame? That's why I couldn't stop fucking laughing. I had to just go up to the local bar. Anyway, that's not the last time I did LSD. I microdosed a little bit when I went to see a local production of The Wizard of Oz. It was actually the leftovers from that microdose. And that one didn't quite hit me as well. The microdosing, I don't know, I haven't dialed that in, and I don't know how much I want to even experiment with it, but yeah, I still keep a door open for.
Well, you should
trying pot. I think we've talked about it. I would 100%. If we were all hanging out, I didn't have to go anywhere.
Yes.
I was in a good place, literally and figuratively. I would take a puff off a joint, and then just chill. I was fucking high one time when I came to your house in Bremerton because you were all basically hotboxing me.
You know what? You can. That good. Really is not a thing. Is a problem.
Are you sure a contact high from marijuana is not a thing?
No, they say. I
think it is.
Really,
I think it's true.
Not in an open living room.
Dude.
Listen,
no.
You gotta
listen.
Yeah, dude.
All I know is that anytime you fail a drug test and you say I had a contact high, they say that's not a fucking thing.
Well,
so I don't know.
Look at they want you in the system. That's because the man wants you in the fucking system. Well, you might be right, but. I don't know, man. I felt high as fuck. I mean, not extraordinarily high, but I felt
you did have your cheeks were a little extra rosy.
Pleasant. I felt really pleasant. It could have just been I was vibing on the energy in the room. I don't know, but that was a smoke ass filled room. This was not your new house. This was your older house in Bremerton. A little smaller, lower ceilings.
Yep, that's
and at that point, the Ronster had been stone cold sober concerning pot for 2 decades.
Yeah.
So it's not like I would, I wouldn't expect anyone to get a contact high being a regular smoker, but I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm curious. It does make me wonder if that's actually something that's bullshit or if the cops just say that that's bullshit and your boss
I know
wants
you
to
can
fire you.
Like you can hotbox a small space. That is a fucking thing.
Yeah.
But like 800 square feet, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, like if it was close enough to you, perhaps. And like you said, you hadn't had it in your system in forever, so smallest amount.
I would.
Are you doing the Google right now?
I'm going to see what pops up.
I was going to say, like, just out of my personal experience.
The first few things that pop up seem to side with you to some degree. Contacts high are unlikely, but possible. Now, I would never say that I would, like, if someone was smoking pot nonstop at the last Tool show that I was at. It was indoors, but it was a fucking arena. The pot was blowing by me. I was smelling it and semi-breathing it all night. I didn't get it. I wouldn't expect to get a contact high there. But when the smoke is just sort of trapped, I don't see how you couldn't get a little. But
sure.
A lot of this is what's popping up on Google seems to be people talking about will it show up on a... I wouldn't expect it to show up on a fucking piss test, but that doesn't mean you couldn't get some sort of recognizable high from it.
Yeah. Sure. I was going to say, I had a personal experience.
It's not clear, though. Does seem to be kind of a myth. Go ahead, Lyle. Sorry.
Well, I have family members that even before I even thought about kind of going back to smoking, I'd be around them quite a bit, and I would get kind of fucked up. when I left, I was like, fuck, dude, I got to kind of contact that.
Yeah.
But it's each their own, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I think there's probably quite a few factors that would have to go into it. But, I'll look into that more.
I'd like to know. I'd like to know.
Interesting thing. But
like
I
to
would
share-
also believe that it could be psychosomatic.
Sure.
I
mean, like
I
you said, it
believe
was a
in that.
vibe. Yeah.
And I knew that I was in a room filled with fucking pot smoke. So even
It was
that
just me
being
and
in my
Christina.
head.
It was funny, like to my like I smoke way more pot now than I did then, and I'm sure we were just taking a couple of like rips off a pipe or something, like sitting in a
No,
room.
you
with
were having a party. That was I don't think it was an Extra Life party, but you had a lot of friends over, and that was when you had you had your own Crackman machine set up.
Oh yeah.
Like
Okay.
Rosie and Josh were there.
Oh yeah. Okay.
A bunch of people that I don't.
I was thinking of a different night where it was just you and me and Christina, and we were playing video games, and I remember you just giggling so much. It's like, that's the night I was thinking of.
That would have been a vibe.
Fuck, man.
Hang on, Lyle or John Mark is trying to call.
Oh, let's see. I'll try to add him.
Do you want to add him?
Sure.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad that it was all my fault. Chris became a pothead.
You know,
Is
you
that
should.
true? I don't remember that.
Yeah,
It
unfortunately.
was. I remember the exact. Well, no. Here's the deal. I enjoyed pot a lot.
Oh
Before
yeah,
that.
no.
But I like once I had Lyle's edibles. He brought me a batch. I think it was. Did you come and stay with me for a night?
Yeah,
And-
we did
and
the
Yeah.
Extra Life.
Yes, exactly. So, he's trying to jump. I'm gonna add him in right now. Yeah, and so like he came out and he brought me this bag of edibles. I paid him
Big
for like you could have $80 or something, nothing, like way undercharged. I was like, thanks, man. And me and Christina just started doing those like every night, and I was like, this is the way life should fucking be.
This is the way.
This is the way.
So I don't know. Yeah, I definitely did change my perspective on cannabis. But fuck, man, I want to tell you guys. I think I told you guys via text, but it has been just a nutso couple of weeks for me. I have been really fucking fortunate in my life to not lose a lot of people. Like I remember when I first started hanging out with Ron, and I remember being on the roof of the Wenatchee World, and you were just telling me about all the friends you've lost. I was like, is this fucking real life?
Yeah.
Like. I've been really fortunate where I haven't been around a lot of death, some family for sure and stuff.
Well, do you remember when we had Rob on the other day?
Yeah, of course.
He did you figure out what he said when he said that he didn't want to be around here anymore? It was because of all his death and all his friends.
That makes sense.
'Cause we're all friends. I mean, we all, all of us were friends, in a circle of some type of circle,
Yeah.
and that's what drove him out.
Yeah.
Was the fact he was doing autopsies on his best friends, It's just
Sure.
like, fuck, man.
Well, we lost my friend, a while back. I won't say his name, but to the OD. And then 2 weeks ago, I was at the bar on Thursday night doing work for 2 hours, hanging out with, I'm just going to say his name. His name's Brandon. Hanging out with my buddy Brandon. Same guy that threw my pool party for me for my birthday. He seemed a little stressed out, but I didn't catch much more than that. And the next day, he took his own life. I just couldn't fucking believe it. So we've all been kind of dealing with that as a community. It's it's also the place where I do a lot of side work, and so like our work family is kind of like, what the fuck? And it's weird. I've never known anyone to take their own life, and the feelings I got from that were unexpected. Like I felt obviously sad and upset. I got angry. I was like getting angry about certain things, like especially because he knows like everything we just went through with the last death in this community. It's like I don't know. And then I just confused. It's very fucking weird. I've never had someone in my life that did that. And I know you guys have much more experience with that than I do.
Well,
Suicide is a very unique experience that can't really translate to other deaths in a lot of ways. I mean, grief in general, you'll go through a slew of all the things that you just said. But there's a different element to it when someone took themselves out of the equation, and that brings so many things with it. That someone dying in a car accident, or some natural thing, or even an OD. It's like there's something very unique about it. As someone who's lost quite a few to suicide and quite a few in just about every other fucking way you can imagine, it is its own separate thing. and no other death can prepare you for dealing with a suicide.
Yeah.
And, Lyle and I got hit with that at a very early age. I don't know how Lyle feels about it and how he has processed it up until now, but I can tell you that I still feel those things about Jason when he hung himself. I was 15 years old, 16 years old, I think. He was 18.
Well, you guys just brought me into the fray.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long. I mean, me and Jason, we had an art class one time, and I want to say middle school, and he had a X-Acto knife. He had mine. I gave mine to him so he could use it, and I was like, "Hey, I'm not done with that. Can I get that back?" He's like, "No." And oh, come on, give it back. And I grabbed it, and he yanked it out of my hand, and ended up giving me like 8 stitches, right? And so the whole time, he's kind of freaking out because they're calling his parents. And I'm like, it's not a big deal. It was an accident. It was nothing to make a thing about. And that's kind of what the school department was trying to make a thing about it,
Yeah.
But, because I know he didn't really have that great of a home, life as it were. So,
yeah. Bummer.
It was rough. It was a rough time.
Yeah.
I heard about it because, like, we were all 3 of us were starting to hang out, together at that time. And then, boom, it happened.
Yeah.
Over something stupid, But it's like the 90% chance of what most people fucking kill themselves over, It's like,
well, that's the thing.
Especially at early age,
Sometimes it is circumstantial, Sometimes it's not mental illness and it's not like deep depression. Sometimes it's just they can't see a way out of whatever they're going through. But that's part of what, all those emotions that you're feeling, Chris, is like you got to sit and think about this shit. He's like, well, should I have seen a thing? Should I have paid more attention? We hung out last fucking night. Should I have caught some things?
Totally. Like, even there was a moment where this is fucking, I'm telling you guys something that I haven't told anyone really, but he was stressed out, and I asked for the keys to the back room because I needed to grab some shit. I work on all the mug club stuff there, so I do all the, like, we put initials on mugs and stuff, and I was trying to get my work done, and I needed to get all the mug club stuff, and he goes, yeah, just grab the shop keys. And I was like, I don't know what those are, but I saw him motion towards a set of keys, so I grabbed them, and I went and opened the door. And I took the keys back with me to the bar, and I put them on the bar. Nobody was in there yet. It was just me and him. And, like, I just left him on the bar right next to me. And he's running around, and I don't know what he's doing. I'm starting to work. And I see him look frantic. And he walks up to me, and he goes, oh, my God, the shop keys are here. They've been here the whole time. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I probably should have put them right back where I found them. He goes, yeah, I was thinking, guess my employment at the bar's been good. And he looked at me like so upset. And I was like, Brandon, I'm really sorry. I didn't even think about it, man. Let me buy you a drink. I'm super sorry. He just never really moved on from that moment. The whole time I was there, that's all I can keep thinking about. Like, he never seemed okay again. Like, he was just fucking upset. And I know that, like, that's not why he killed himself. I know that's not the case.
Yeah.
But it's like, did it contribute? Did, like, the day before, is that why he spiraled? Like,
yeah, that's the stuff that I don't know how do you ever really process it, This fucking community, though, I don't know if we've talked about it on the show or not, but this bar where your other friends OD'd and one of them died, and now this, they've suffered a lot. And I've been working on doing the music for some filmmakers there in your neck of the woods, friends of yours, that they made a movie about pinball, and I'm providing some of the score, and they're using some Bloody Oranges stuff for the music. Now,
they told me the songs they picked. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, there's some funny ones that they picked, but and I've spent time in that bar, so I have this sort of strange, disconnected yet sort of
connected.
Like, well, I'm seeing it from afar, and it's just like, even going through the footage, it's like I know that there are people in the movie, that it's like, and I know who these people are, and I just keep thinking about this community. They've really been rocked, because anytime you got like a favorite, like if this had gone on a radar station, I could only imagine how that would be impacting everyone that hung out at radar station. How's everyone doing? They all kind of coming together and being there for each other, just processing it best they can.
That's the thing, is like, we're just kind of getting over the last one. So
yeah.
We're having a funeral next week. It's going to be at another. So there's like 3 bars that do pinball in walking distance down there. It's going to be at the biggest one because his family's going to fly into town for it. So we've made these boards for people to sign with his photo on it and stuff. So it's just been wild. Honestly, it's been wild. Just the last one really brought us all closer, and now we're like, here we go, fucking again. We're getting tired of having these hugs in this bar.
Yeah.
It's just weird. It's so strange, man. Like it's a total community. I mean, it's yes, it's a bar community, but it's really a pinball community.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking strange. So I appreciate. I was, Ron and I text back and forth. I texted the group, and Ron and I were texting back and forth, and he sent me some good, insightful stuff. It was always nice to get that from my buddy. But it's just been fucking weird, and it's also the 1-year anniversary of my dad's death, which was a fucking awful period. And I'll tell you what. After we had Rob on, was that the last podcast we did? Is that how long it's been?
It was a couple ago.
Okay. He told us about that website, Parting Stone. Because I was like, I don't know what to do with my dad's ashes, blah, blah, blah. And so I couldn't stop thinking about it. I pull up the website, and the first thing is like, for pets or for humans. And I was like, well, for humans, click. And it's like immediately they put the cost right up front. It's like, it's $1,000 to do this. But you get like 20 to 22 stones that look like stacking rocks, almost like river rock stacking rocks. They're really fucking cool looking. Yeah. And I was like, I'm never going to spend $1,000 on this close. And like I went, a few days, and I was thinking about it again, and I was in the garage smoking a joint, looking down at those ashes, and I realized every time I see them, I feel a little bit of pain. Like not like a ooh, I miss my dad, but more of like, I gotta do something with these.
Yeah, like unresolved. Yeah.
Yeah. He's just sitting in the box he was processed in a bag. It's just, I don't know. The ashes are gross. I don't know how else to describe them.
Yeah.
So
I got the same problem.
It is Max. Like, what do you do with
he's
it?
He's in a box right on my my window.
Yeah.
So.
And it's like, doesn't feel good when you look at him.
Kind of responsibility. Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
So I finally wrote my sister. I was like, hey, do you mind if I take $1,000 out of the inheritance and just pay for the service for Dad? And she's like, fuck no, go ahead. So I reached out to the lawyer. He was like, fuck, do it. So sure as shit, I ordered my kit. It's sitting right here next to me. It's a big old box I have to send the ashes in. It's not big old. It's like as big as a bread box. But what a weird unit of measurement, right? We still use it too. But it's funny because I have to put a bunch of human remains stickers on the outside as UPS picks it up. It has to be labeled properly and stuff. So yeah, they're gonna press him into 2022 stones, and it's like some kind of resin compound they mix it with, and then they kiln it. And it's cool because the stones often come out as white, but they vary in color frequently. And so sometimes they can be blue or like a honey gold, and they have no idea what causes that. It's just based on the ashes and the person.
That's really interesting. The compound that they use is the same. So the only variable is the ashes?
That's exactly right. And so they said, most of them come out white, but some come out like a light blue. Some have like a honey gold. So I'm like,
what would cause that?
That's a great fucking question, right? So I'm excited to see how it turns out. And I told my family this, and they're like, that's interesting. And then same exact thing. Like a few days went by, and they were all calling me like, do you mind if I have a couple of those rocks of Steve? And I was like, yeah.
So how many do you get?
They said, I think they said between 20 and 22 or so.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's calcium or something, like in the bones and the density or something.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Really
like fat content, it could be anything.
It could be anything.
That's what I was thinking.
They don't know.
To be some sort of.
Were you a smoker? Was there something it's so crazy, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. I have one fun thing I want to share with you guys. This is just a little side note. I've been the last thing I had to do for the castle work-wise, I've been working on this Mug Club relaunch, and the last thing I had to do was design a T-shirt. And I probably just did 10 designs, and I hated every single fucking one of them. And then I had this idea, and yes, this is not entirely original, and I don't care, but it's so simple and perfect, and anyone that sees it has laughed. I'm sending it over Facebook right now for you. So this is if you sign into the Mug Club, if you become a member of the Mug Club, where you get a mug for a year and all this stuff. This is gonna be your shirt. You guys recognize it, right? Come on, you're all deviants, right? Yeah, Facebook Messenger.
Wasn't within reach. Okay. Okay, so on the front we have a breast logo that says Mug Club in the very recognizable Pornhub logo. And on the back we have a definitely Grand Theft Auto
Yeah, well, that's the actual logo.
That's
for
their
the
logo.
Yeah.
Mug
Grand Theft
Club.
Auto.
Good.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
It's pretty great, right? I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, I
with
mean,
that one.
what what could you do that's better?
Yeah, it's
Once
pretty
you
good.
see it, it's like, oh, well,
Yeah.
there it is.
Yeah, there it is. Real quick before we move on, I wanted to just, while I'm just chit-chatting away, I wanted to
That's the show.
I have a couple of what you watchings that are well worth the ride, and I think John Mark's probably already on top of these, but first thing I'm going to recommend is the Industrial Light and Magic documentary on Disney Plus. I could not believe it when I realized this was a 6-episode event. It was so good. In fact, I worked a piece of this into News Quiz, so I won't say much more, but I did not know enough about this company that George harnessed for Star Wars effects, basically. So, but the history as that company continued to grow is unfucking believable. It's really, really fantastic. So highly recommend spending that one. Also on Netflix, Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. Has anyone checked this out yet?
I have
Yes.
seen a preview
It's
of
on
it,
my radar,
but I have
but I
not
haven't-
watched
It's
it.
I
it's
haven't
good.
figured
I
it out
like
yet.
it. I like it.
I'm like 3 episodes in. It feels very Tales from the Crypty, but
It's an
really
anthology,
well done.
right? Like a different.
Yes. Yeah, 6 episodes, all different stories.
It's super well done. The
Oh
way
my
he did
God.
it. Yeah.
And
They're
like
they're like
I started to
little
think I'm
teaser
gonna-
movies.
I start to think I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hate this one, and every single one I've been like way into. But anyways,
I saw previews of his Pinocchio stop motion animation, which looks fucking incredible. But going back to the Industrial Light and Magic, I was not aware of this show at all, and I'm glad you pointed it out. I haven't watched it yet, but I put it on my list when you sent us that text. I miss this aspect of not being in the DVD or Blu-ray world anymore. The sort of behind-the-scenes stuff and the documentaries and the commentaries. Not just there was a time when I was, a filmmaker and I was spending my time. And believe it or not, there are things as a no-budget filmmaker that you can learn from the people who are spending, $500 million to make their shit, especially with the effects and the technology that we have now. But just the concept and just the way that they tinker things together, especially in the older days, I always got more inspired by that, by like seeing how, in some cases, how ridiculous the effect actually was, like what they actually did to pull it off and how well it worked.
Totally. Yeah.
I love that shit, so I'm super stoked for that. I
It's
didn't
good.
realize it was a full
and
series.
It's definitely one of those things you will probably be able to put on and work while you watch, because there's a lot of talking, but then they'll cut to like video. What's great is what I love about it, because they cover a shitload of Star Wars, don't get me wrong, but they also cover like Jurassic Park and Indiana Jones and like all these things that they've been involved with. And
so many things,
yeah, and they'll go over like, well, George wanted to do this way, and we're like, we can't do that. And he'd be like, just think about it and walk away. And we'd be like, well, and then we thought about it, and we're like, well, we could try. Oh, and like that's how he operates. He it just gets people thinking. And so then they'll go over how they came up to do the shot, and then they'll show the shot at the end. So you get like, it's like the money shot. They tease it, and then you get to relive it. So fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Worth watching.
Yeah, I'm stoked for it.
I find it fascinating how older actors of older times, they knew how to act, and it's because the special effects were so garbage. They might have maybe overreacted.
At the same time, now the people that have to act, they're just acting in a giant green void.
I know.
That's got its own special acting requirements.
That's true. You have to be a little bit.
Speaking of what we're watching, I just saw the Weird Al quote unquote biopic. Have you guys watched this yet?
Was it good? No, is it good?
Oh my god! If you like shit like Hot Shots and Naked Gun, that sort of humor, you're going to love the Weird Al biopic,
because it's like a parody of a biopic, or right?
Yeah,
It's like,
but what's funny is that so they released. I only saw one trailer for this thing, and it looked like a legitimate biopic. But I'm like, there's no way. Wait, did Al fuck Madonna? And you don't really even know once you get through all this what is myth and what it's so ridiculous.
Okay. That's kind of nice, because I was like, I didn't know he did that.
I'm curious about the whole Madonna thing, because she does not come out looking peachy keen in this, but like he had to have gotten her permission, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But the one vibe that I think it might relate to a lot of people is a not quite so raunchy Tenacious D, Pick of Destiny. I was getting some of that vibe.
Okay,
from it.
all
But
right,
mostly
I can
like
find that.
Naked Gun, like just cornball humor.
Sure.
But there was some genuinely like belly laugh moments. But I just enjoyed the whole fucking thing. I thought it was
That's
great.
great.
It was such a strange idea for your own biopic.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what he made parodies of songs, right? So
That's
like
true.
a parody of a biopic, like
Yeah, it's brilliant.
genius, really
Yeah.
fucking great. Wanted to ask you guys. So I've been reading up a bit more on Discord, and I think we should try to do a movie night again,
Okay.
where we all get on and
Just
do a
talking
movie
about
night.
missing those.
And I have a suggestion for the first movie. It just came out on streaming, and I've seen it. I'm sure John Mark's probably seen it, but I doubt the other two haven't. The movie I'm talking about is Nope. It's the what's his name?
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele. Same guy did Get Out.
I always call him Jordan. What's the other Jordan? The lesser Jordan. Impossible. It always
Peterson?
comes out as Jordan
Oh my
Peterson.
God. Man are doing impossible things. But
UFOs are impossible.
have you guys seen this movie?
I have not even seen a preview of it, but I've heard I've
Don't
seen
watch it.
like
Perfect.
Don't watch
I've seen
it.
like
Don't-
headlines
don't-
and stuff.
Yeah,
This
don't watch the
movie,
preview.
all I could think about when I was watching it was like, God, I wish I can get Ron's reaction to this. I felt the same way about The Shape of Water because it was so
Yeah.
up your alley
Yeah.
in an aesthetic and
The
storytelling
color
way.
palette and the aesthetic.
Yes.
Yeah, right out of my.
I know, and
Wet
so like I
dreams.
feel the same way about this movie for different reasons, and I think it'd be a great one, and we can. I'm gonna look it up and figure out how to do it. We just need to set a night where we're gonna do it. We can invite all our listeners; they can hop in. It'll be great.
It's super simple.
Okay.
Dude.
I know how to
Discord,
do it. It's super easy. I've done
Fucking
it
A.
before.
super
All right, well let's do this. Can
Our
we make this
listeners
happen?
are like,
We have
oh
a
man,
Discord
they're
all
gonna
set up
they're gonna
already.
they're gonna pencil this one in because it's like we've been burned before. Oh, now they're gonna do the live stream and now they're gonna hop over to Discord. Okay, all right,
Interesting.
Yeah. Lightly penciling that one in.
super
Tissue paper.
easy.
You know what's great though is we may not have like we have a lot of lurkers that don't interact, but we have enough fucking personalities. Like, can you imagine getting on a chat with Katie Surgery Jeff and TJ and just like all these
TJ
like
was-
regulars.
TJ was a
our
regular
Ben,
at
get our
movie
fucking Ben in
nights.
here. Yeah, like it'd be
can-
great.
It'd
We
be
can
fun.
use
I'd enjoy
we
it.
can use Discord to stream games too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that's the aim. But like, let's start with this movie. Let's actually fucking. I'll shoot some dates out there. Actually, Ron, you should shoot.
What
some
does this
dates
look
out.
like though? Does this look like for everyone but us? What does it look like? Are they going to see like four heads and a movie screen?
And
Is,
the
is
chat
one
space?
of us going to have a
Screen
movie
share.
screen in the background?
Screen share, you can see whatever's on whoever's the screen, whoever's sharing,
Mhm.
and then there's like chat if you want.
Okay.
You
I
know?
know it can be done because I
Well,
see
could we
shit
do
like this
it-
done all the time. But we've
could we
looked
do it
into it
with
so
our
many
faces
times.
too?
It's just like mystery.
I don't know if we could do it with the face.
Well, what if we did like a Zoom and put that down in the corner on your? I don't know if
Well,
that,
Zoom,
that
might
I
be
think, cuts
crazy.
it off at an hour.
Oh,
We
okay.
want to do something that.
Okay, I'll do a little
I-
research on this too. But it'd be cool if we could stream our faces
anything's
too.
possible.
Yeah.
You know?
I also don't know. Can you? I guess there's probably an observer only option for Zoom, but I don't know.
We'll have to
like
look
you don't
into
have
it,
to
but-
be a talking head, but you just pop it. Because what would be great is if people could just pop into the chat, but see all of our faces and see what we're
Yes.
seeing.
Yeah, that'd be great. It'd be awesome. Okay, well let's pen this in, man. It'd be great.
right.
I'll shoot some dates out and you guys can see what works with you. And any weeknight's fine. A weekend would be great too. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm down for like a Friday night viewing or a Saturday or
great.
whatever.
Oh,
Saturday
that'd be
matinee.
fun. That would be
in
very
bed
fun.
By 7.
So have you guys noticed that Metallica came out with their first song in like 6 years? It's called Lux Internal, I think.
No, how was it?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I
How
feel
could
bad
it be
about
anything
that
other?
because
I
when
did
I say
notice.
I said that when the Black album came out. I was like,
I did too.
but that fucking
I did too,
album's
and
so
I
killer,
still
dude.
maintain that opinion.
I did get
What?
behind Inner Sandman. I got to be honest. I did get behind Inner
Well.
Sandman. I enjoyed that. I thought that sounded like a natural progression for Metallica, and then the rest of it. I'd liked Unforgiven. I liked some of what they were doing,
This
but like Sad But True, I was like boring and repetitive. And then he's just like, I felt like so many songs on that album were just is this the same? They seemed like boring parts of the best. Or boring parts of the least interesting parts of And Justice for All. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it didn't feel like it. But I did like the different aspects of it. Like, I thought Enter Sandman, I still think Enter Sandman's a good song. I'm sick to death of it, and I don't need to hear it anymore. But I thought it was fun to listen to that shit for a while, but I got so tired of it. And the fact that that became everybody's, like, if you're going to hear Metallica post 1990, 91, whenever that came out, you were going to hear that album. It's like huge Metallica fans that never heard of Injustice for All.
Yeah.
Never heard of Master of Puppets. Like, what?
That was just weird.
It's just where it became a different thing. And that happened.
And same with Stranger Things when that came out, and they used that, what it was, Master Puppets.
Mm-hmm.
Just a huge inflation of Metallica songs being used on other things.
Well, what I like about that is that sends people back to the good shit. Yeah, go listen to fucking Master of Puppets and Ride the Lightning and Justice for All, and really crank that bass up on Justice for All.
Yeah. Sorry, Jason.
Yeah, bummer, Jason. That whole story is just bizarre, especially because that album sounds so weird, but it's also kind of part of the charm.
At the time, honestly, until the whole controversy started getting talked about, I didn't even fucking know. I never noticed it.
I never noticed it.
Back in the day, it was just like, oh, here's new Metallica. Yeah, here.
I knew I knew that album sounded completely different, though. Right? Don't you remember that when the first time you heard it? It's like, I think we all maybe just thought, well, this is the newer sound. Yeah. But yeah, even the drums are just like, like it just sounds like, it's just so, it's tinny is the perfect word for it. And I think that's some of their best music on Injustice for All, and I think a lot of people do. And it just, to this day, when I put it in, it half feeds my soul and half bugs me. And it's always been that way, even before the bass stuff started coming up. But once you hear, I think we're going down the same path. Go ahead, Lau.
Yeah, well, there is a YouTube channel that went and redid it, where the whole album, they basically bumped up the bass. Either the dude went and sampled it and just redid the bass, bass into the whole album. But it's a kind of.
I think that's what it has to be. I don't think those.
And it sounds killer.
I don't care how you mix the original tracks. I mean, unless you're actually at the board mixing, the actual working tracks.
Once you have the stems.
I don't think you're ever going to pull that much bass. You can hear the tone of the bass. So someone re-recorded it and put, I think did a really good job of it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, now we're so used to the original version that when you hear that version, it's off-putting as well. But you're like, God, I do wish there was some hybrid of this that came out back in the day. But what a bitch slap in the face to someone it's like a long joke at this point how poorly treated old Jason was, stepping into some pretty fucking heavy-duty shoes.
Cliff.
Yeah, and I think that they kind of took that anger of losing him out on Jason in a weird way. What's funny is that they hadn't done that with Robert at all, the guy who replaced Jason.
That's the weirdest thing too. That's kind of weird. Yeah. There was one thing I was going to say about that, and you actually started early with cutting them off. I think when Load, and Reload came out, that's about the time I dropped off Metallica. I was like, well, we'll see you in a couple of years when you come out with some good stuff.
There was a couple of good songs on those, but not worthy of
but give me fuel, give me fire.
You know what song I liked off of Load that was the most un-Metallica song? Probably, outside of Lulu. Yeah, the Let My Heart Go. I love that song. I still kind of like it. I haven't heard it forever, but when I first heard that, I was like, well, this ain't Metallica, but this is hitting something in me that I dig. And that was about when I was getting into country for the first time in my whole life, too. Whenever that was, I think late 90s.
Yeah.
Anywho, well, I got a whole bunch of news, but I'm not going to get to it because looking at the clock, but I'm going to get some of these out.
Sure.
Speaking of balls, were we just speaking of balls? Mick Fleetwood of Fleetwood Mac is auctioning off his famous wooden balls. The very
famous
ones.
What now?
The wooden balls dangling from his mid-region on the Rumors album cover?
Yeah, beat up his guitar.
Are you not picturing that, Chris? Are you a greatest hits kind of gal?
Let me look at rumors.
Oh, you got it. It's the most famous album cover in their lineage, and you can't miss the dangling balls.
I've seen this cover a bunch, but I couldn't tell you I've ever seen the balls.
Maybe you just have an aversion.
Images, perhaps.
But
maybe I'm like,
he is auctioning off the famous balls.
why have I never seen them before?
One wonders. The auction will take place next month at Julian's, and the balls aren't the only Fleetwood Mac stuff to go into auction, but that's the one that's garnering the most interest. Now, I found this, I don't know, I think this is lowballing it, no pun intended, but they are predicting that this will bring in around 200,000.
Oh, wow.
Doesn't that seem low to you guys? I mean, what people spend their money on?
Yeah.
That is
Lowballing.
Rumors has it that they're lowballing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just imagining like auctioning my own balls, and then like there's stipulations
200.
like they have to wear white gloves
There are
when they fawn
stipulations.
over.
Handling gloves, yeah.
Well, this is Julian's.
Yeah,
Wow.
you gotta be gentle.
They're
with them.
classy.
You can't be just flapping around.
What if they want to bronze them? Is that cool?
Well,
I don't
once
know.
they're your
That's-
balls.
The hot flame next to my balls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably not.
No, it's specifically listed. No hot flames.
This is a clause.
No, I think that's lowballing it, but this did get me thinking about. I wanted to know what were some of the most valuable rock memorabilia of all time, and I found this little list. I thought we'd go through some of this, but I think the way we'll do this. So here's the top 5. I want you guys to try to guess which one is number 1 most valuable. Well, maybe we'll see how this goes. Maybe we'll go down the line here. But so first
like
off,
what, 80s or 70s?
oh, this is all over the map. First off, we have Bob Dylan's handwritten lyrics to "Like a Rolling Stone." And it's not just handwritten lyrics. There's also he made some like little cartoons on them.
Right.
Pretty special
I bet
piece.
that's going to be. I agree with how special that is. I bet that went for less than something like Michael Jackson's Rhinestone Glove or something crazy. Is that on this list?
No, not on the top 5, but there are things closer to that. I would say. Next up is John Lennon's Phantom 5 Rolls Royce.
So
now
an
this I
actual
have-
car.
Yeah, this is a pretty famous car,
Luxury
actually. Dubbed the Psychedelic Rolls for its custom hippie, trippy paint job. And it says, John Lennon's LSD-inspired Beetlemobile was once attacked by an outraged English woman who, according to Lennon, smacked it with an umbrella and screamed, "You swine! How dare you do that to a Rolls Royce?" And when you see it, you can kind of get behind that. But it's John Lennon. Up next is Janis Joplin's Porsche. It was a very similar story.
Oh, there you
And
go.
Looks very similar to John
Good Lord,
Lennon.
won't you buy me?
1964 Porsche 356 Cabriolet is brushed with a custom mural titled "The History of the Universe," featuring butterflies, birds, a mountain landscape, celestial objects, and, of course, magic.
I had to pull it up because it
Mushrooms.
sounds fucking wild.
Oh, yeah,
You
you gotta
do.
see it.
Wow.
You know that song's off it, right? That
Which one?
Good Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz?
Mm-hmm.
My friends drive Porsches. I must make amends.
Yeah, well, her friends do drive Porsches, and she's
She's a
copying
Porsche
her
driver
friends,
too,
huh?
apparently.
She's a traitor. Up next is Elvis Presley's Aqua Blue Vine jumpsuit. Don't let the
There
name
you go.
fool you. This is like one of the jumpsuits that he's mostly known for. The Aqua Blue Vine was the pattern against that classic white collar up, bell bottom
Oh yeah,
jumpsuit.
yeah.
It's one of his
Classic
famous
Elvis.
and it's fucking Elvis. And it went to auction featuring noticeable, point-outable stains of
Oh.
Elvis
Jelly
Presley
sandwiches?
sweat.
Oh.
Oh, ever, yeah.
I thought they were going to
DNA.
be
That's gonna go
fried.
for more.
You fucking make a new Elvis. And finally, the Rolling Stones tongue and lips logo original artwork.
Yes.
Now, here's a little history behind this. I thought this was interesting. According to legend, the world's most famous rock and roll logo is directly based on Mick Jagger's ginormous lips. Not necessarily so, says John Pashy, the London Royal College of Art student commissioned by Jagger in 1970 to create a logo for the band's concert tour programs. The artist recalls he was perhaps subconsciously inspired by Mick's oversized kisser, but more so the rebellious notion of sticking one's tongue out to authority. And this, of course, first appeared on their 1971 Sticky Fingers album, which I do think is still my favorite Stones album. So, in summary, we have Bob Dylan's handwritten lyrics to Like a Rolling Stone, John Lennon's Phantom 5 Rolls Royce, Janis Joplin's 1964 Porsche, Elvis's jumpsuit, or the Rolling Stones' Tongue and Lips logo original artwork. Let's start with Chris. Which one you think is the most valuable?
I mean, the cars are hard to ignore because they're fucking cars,
They're
right?
cars and collectible on that level.
But I'm sure that's the herring of it. I'm gonna go with. What was the last one?
The last one was the Rolling Stones original artwork.
I'm gonna go with that one just because it fucking seems like it's gonna be out of left field.
Okay. Lyle, what say you?
I say Elton John's Miraculously Beast of a Car. Probably would be the.
He's been under the weather. John Lennon, you mean?
Oh, John Lennon. Mm-hmm. Elton John, John Lennon.
You know what's funny? That's one of my
acronyms.
I get that confused in my head so often. I will all the time say John Lennon when I meant to say Elton John, or vice versa.
Yeah.
You're going to go with the car.
Yes, sir.
John Mark, what about you?
Elvis's jumpsuit.
Okay, interesting.
It has to be, right?
Well, Christopher picked the actual lowest priced one.
Perfect.
Which was $93,000.
Cool.
That's a lot of money.
I thought that was pretty fucking low. And this sold like in 2013, 2014. This isn't like 1980 money. This is fairly recent money. I'm like, really? The original?
Yeah.
In terms of what band has a more famous fucking logo? What any entity has a more famous logo? You got Pepsi, Coke, and the fucking Rolling Stones lip. I was shocked by that. Yeah. Okay, next up, what John Mark picked, Elvis's jumpsuit. I was kind of shocked by this too. This sold for $325,000. Not chump change. Yeah. But nowhere near where we're going.
Yeah.
Did they find any grilled peanut butter sandwiches in there?
Okay, I'm sure we've talked about this before, but have you guys actually ever had a grilled peanut butter and banana sandwich?
Is it really that good?
Oh, banana.
Fucking unbelievably good. Listen, I'm not a huge banana guy. I love peanut butter.
Frequently eat peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
Oh, my God. Dude. If you don't hate any of these ingredients, I promise you will love a grilled. Now, the classic recipe, as far as I can remember, I remember seeing an interview with one of Elvis's main chefs. And by the way, he would sometimes order 12 of these a day.
Just give me a baker's dozen.
So it was just mashed up banana with peanut butter on Wonder Bread, had to be Wonder Bread. Buttered and fried. Occasionally, he would add jam, and they would egg batter the grill. I think that's called a Fool's Gold sandwich. That's a different sandwich.
Almost like a Monte Cristo, right?
But it's legit. It's getting closer to a Monte Cristo. But even the peanut butter and banana is along the same lines of a Monte Cristo, where you get a little bit of the salty, the grill, the sweet, and the creamy texture. Oh my God, it's fucking delicious, man. Okay, so the next guess was number one. Lyle was on the money. John Lennon, or Elton John's Phantom 5 Rolls Royce sold for. Now I'm going to let you guys take a quick guess. What do you think this went for?
A long, long
$2 million.
$2 million. Lyle, what do you say?
Oh, easy.
12
million.
Easy peasy.
12 million.
Oh, and John Mark.
5.7 million.
Well, on that one, Christopher was on the mark. 2.3 mil.
Well, yeah.
Next was Bob Dylan's handwritten lyrics. That went for 2 million.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's Bobby Dylan, and that's one of his most recognizable songs.
Yeah.
I know you don't like him, but
I don't like him.
But you understand how important he is and how beloved. That's Bob Dylan on the Tilt-A-Whirl.
Here we go again. Like a rolling carnival.
Stop this machine.
Oh my God. It's like close my eyes. You're fucking taking me there.
Everybody must get off this fucking thing. Okay, so next was Janis Joplin's Porsche at 1.76 mil, and that takes that's it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you figure if it was like James Dean's fucking Cobra or whatever fucking that he got this.
Well,
there's a curse.
Chris,
to it.
you were on it. You the car thing. I think. Well, it's a car plus a Beetle, and arguably, well, definitely one of the most popular Beatles. I don't know who's the most popular Beatle. I mean, I think John Lennon probably is. If you took a poll,
maybe
the biggest Beatle and his most famous car.
Probably John or Paul, right?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Most
you fucking Ringo.
Most of my friends prefer George. We're George peeps up in this house.
Yeah.
As for me and my house, we serve George.
I like George and Ringo.
George, if you listen to a lot of George's solo stuff, especially the earlier stuff, All Things Must Pass, you'll hear a ton of shit that I've ripped off, like his harmonies and a lot. Yeah, very huge influence over. I mean, you won't say, "Wow, this is as good as the Beatles," especially that one Beatle. But you'll hear at least some of where my heart lied when I started making music. Anywho, well, that was fun. Let me do one more quick little tidbit here, just because I know Chris has had a rough week, and I have to cheer him up with a fish-related story. I want you to look at this one. I know you usually don't, but this one is special. I'm going to send it over text. Does that work? You got your phone handy?
Yeah.
This is a 67-pound goldfish that a British fisherman just reeled in. One of the largest. Oh
my god, it makes me want to fucking throw up.
You don't find that pretty? Like, I think that is
a fucking freak.
It is literally a massive goldfish. I had no idea. I had no idea they got anywhere near this.
I'm zooming in on a fish's eye. You know what that face tells me? Kill me. I'm unnatural.
Well, apparently they do get significantly bigger. They're just carp.
No,
They're just
someone
gross.
Actually caught a legit Magikarp.
Yeah, it's a legit Magikarp, and they've caught it before, but it was planted. They call this little character Carrot is her name, and they planted her about 20 years ago in this specific lake. So this is not the first time she's been caught, but this is by far the biggest she's weighed. And so they did turn her loose again to be caught again and again and again. But yeah, I don't know. It's I had no idea. I know the old adage that a goldfish will grow as big as the container that it's given. I guess here's proof. If you give it a fucking lake, it'll turn into. You guys got to see the photo. Maybe I'll make it the photo for the week's episode. Sorry, Chris. You'll have to see it again. But you don't find any. I thought I was kind of 50-50 on this. I thought you might find that to be kind of magical and pretty. Nothing doing, huh?
Majestic.
Oh, we lost Chris. No,
sorry, no.
He answered by quitting the podcast forever.
Yeah, sorry. I said good day. Sorry, getting a kid a treat there.
That's all right. Anyway, looking at the clock, since I got a magazine to push out, why don't we take a quick break and get on to some weird trivia, unless anyone had something they wanted to share.
Sounds good to me.
All right, quick pee break. I'll be right back. Well, it's starting to snow.
Is it really?
It's beginning to look a lot like fuck this. I don't mind the snow as much now that I don't have to leave my house very often. But
isn't that weird? COVID saved Christmas.
The pandemic that saved Christmas. Okay, are we all back?
We're all back.
I think I have a certain song queued and ready to roll. Let's do this.
It's Weird Trivia with Christopher a man from Florida, poop things, square shit in nature. Don't get me started on the goddamn brown hair. It's Weird Trivia that might get Christopher fired.
All right.
Okay.
Feels good. Feels good to be back,
It
guys.
does feel
All
good.
right.
Been a while.
I will be reaching out to our previous winners soon to schedule a good date for us to do our new championship.
I can't wait.
I'm really excited about that. It's going to be fucking okay, so tonight we're going in traditional order. Round John, Mark, then Lyle. We have 4 questions. Let's do this. Question 1. Watching that Industrial Light and Magic documentary gave me some shocking insight as to just how impactful that group of ragtag creatives has been on our lives. Which of the following statements about Industrial Light and Magic is false? The other 3 are absolutely true. So just one of these I made up.
Okay.
Is it A, Pixar started as an offshoot of Industrial Light and Magic? B, Industrial Light and Magic was actually established 10 years before George Lucas started filming Star Wars? Is it C, Photoshop was developed by Industrial Light and Magic by an employee?
No, get out of here.
D, Industrial Light and Magic has been responsible for nearly all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's special effects.
Ooh, it's tough. This is tough. Well,
Ronster.
I feel like Pixar was tied to Apple, but I don't know where those people came from. What was remind me some of the other?
So Pixar was invented at Industrial Light and Magic, it was Industrial Light and Magic was established 10 years before George Lucas even got involved. Photoshop was developed by an Industrial Light and Magic employee who needed to manipulate images. Or ILMM was responsible for nearly all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's special effects.
Damn. I have no fucking clue. I can't imagine it existing 10 years before Star Wars.
Star Wars.
But then, see, I can confuse Industrial Light and Magic with Skywalker Ranch.
Ooh.
Skywalker Ranch would have come after Star Wars, but that doesn't mean Industrial
Skinwalkers.
Light and Magic. I feel like that was a Star Wars era invention. I'm going to go with something that doesn't make total sense to me, but none of the other ones do either. So I'm going to go with you made up that they did the bulk of the Marvel.
Okay. D.
Yeah, even though that seems like the place you would want that kind of shit done. There's so many places now, but...
Is that D for Disney? What?
D for D's nuts.
D's nuts.
Soon to be up for auction, but don't get them anywhere near the flame.
Right. Wear your gloves.
John Mark.
Wait.
It's Julian's. Have some respect here.
One of these is real or one of these is made up?
One of these is made up. The rest are real.
That's fucking tough.
That puts it in a whole different light now.
And magic.
Light and Magic.
So Pixar, 10 years before George Lucas.
Photoshop and MCU.
You can still go tour Skywalker Ranch, right? Catches.
I don't know.
I feel like Kevin Smith did a while back, and he talked about it on
He
his
got
podcast.
married there.
That's
he
right.
Snuck his
That's
marriage
the
in
connection.
like in 10 minutes. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Fuck, man. I want to. The more I think about it, the more they all sound like it could be a contender. Let's go with let's go with 10 years.
Okay, I'll put you down for the 10 years. B.
And that would be 67.
Yeah.
Ugh. Had to turn
Maybe
off my
LSD
machine.
was the first Industrial Light and Magic.
Wow.
real fast in real circles. I'm gonna go with that. They, I don't believe they made up Photoshop. I think that's an Adobe thing, and I think that's always been an Adobe thing.
Yeah, it is, but he said the guy that invented it like one of those guys invented
Well, he
it.
was one of the guys that worked for him, but it
Adobe.
doesn't mean that it's.
I feel like
don't
there's
believe
something
it.
familiar about that.
I don't know. I
I've
think
heard-
so.
We'll
I
see.
think it's a lie. I think it's a made up lie.
Okay.
How dare you?
Yeah,
A
intriguing.
made up lie.
How dare you? Okay. Question 2.
It's all the gas on my end.
That reminds me. I got to get a photo of this. Chris Evans, Captain America himself, was voted as People's Sexiest Man Alive this year.
Ooh, my cousin.
Is that true?
You would have heard about that by now. Don't tell the ladies. Yeah, little Chrissy baby. Just saw my Thanksgiving. Sorry.
But I saw a flashback recently, and 30 years ago this month, back in 1992, who was voted as People Magazine's sexiest man alive?
92.
Was it?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's George Clooney, of course.
Was it Keanu Reeves? Was it Tim Allen?
You got some cocaine and going to prison.
Tim Allen was a sex symbol for a small minute, guys. All right,
Really?
Just me. Was it Nick Nolte?
All I can picture is that mugshot. One of the greatest mugshots. Celebrity
totally.
mugshot.
Or was it Tom Cruise? One of these guys was the sexiest man alive in 92.
92.
Keanu? Oh, Tim Allen. Nick Nolte? Or Tom Cruise?
Keanu, Nick. What was the first one?
The first one was Keanu, Tim Allen, Nick Nolte, or Tom Cruise.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay.
Ah, boy, tough. 1992. I'm trying my best to scroll up what was in theaters.
Uh-huh.
That's definitely got to be around Bill and Ted era. Maybe not quite.
Matrix?
No, nowhere near Matrix yet.
No. Being bad
but that's what I'm trying to do. Like what? Tom Cruise. It seems like he never stopped being in shit, but 1992, I'm having a hard time picturing him. See, that was later. I'm going to go with Keanu only because that's the only movie like Nick Nolte. I got to be honest, I don't know shit about Nick Nolte's career. I can't even think of one Nick Nolte movie.
Weirdo.
But 48 Hours, I think he's in that.
Mm-hmm.
And
God
God damn it, I cannot retain all four of these fucking answers. Keanu, Nick Nolte,
Tim Allen.
Tim Allen.
Tim Allen.
I can't
What about Tim Allen?
I will gleefully be wrong about not picking Tim Allen as the sexiest man alive.
Eddie Money.
Prove me wrong.
What was real?
Yeah, Eddie Money. I should have been waiting for that. I'm gonna go with Keanu because I feel like that's around Bill and Ted. I feel like he was shining a bit more then than Tom Cruise. But God, I'm sure there's some obvious Tom Cruise movie that was like 90, 91, 92.
Top
But I feel like he was strong in the 80s and strong in the late 90s and early 2000s again. Yeah, Nick Nolte's a crapshoot. I got fucking nothing. But, Tim Allen is a... we'll see. John Mark?
John Mark.
Curious what you think here.
I don't know. I'm just gonna go with Tom Cruise.
Safe bet.
What would that been? Oh. Maybe it was that Days of Thunder era? Was that what you were referencing? I feel the need for speed. You might be right.
Days of Thunder,
Top Gun.
He probably...
Troglodyte.
Oh, that's... Yeah,
Well, no.
Top Gun was like
that
80s.
was the Need for Speed one. But Days of Thunder, that would have been
Days
probably
of Thunder
around.
was huge.
Yeah, early 90s. You're right. I guess Tom Cruise never really stopped
No,
never
he's just
stopped.
always
being
been there.
around.
You never stopped.
Fucking incredible career.
Okay, Lyle.
Okay, see if we can pull this off.
But been training for this.
Training for this all my
Tom
life.
Cruise.
Yeah. He's coughing. You're coughing, aren't you?
Bodie, you got to get off that plane, Bodie.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh.
That would have been that
I'm
era,
an
too.
FBI agent.
I'm an FBI agent, man. I can't go down like this, bro.
Hardcore crime is bogus.
It's totally bogus, and you need to stop hitting on my ex.
So Nick Nolte?
Solid Nick Nolte.
Yes,
think
Tom
Was
Cruise.
was Nick Nolte also in Point Break? Though
He was
he the
actually
cop?
in
Yeah,
there,
that's so
yeah.
funny.
He was in
Was
there.
he?
That's
Okay.
what's funny. Yeah.
Wait, so
He was his
wait,
partner.
Yeah, he was his partner.
He was
That
his
should be our
partner.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Oh,
we
it
have
should
to
be.
watch Nope, but I would love to watch
Okay,
Point Break too.
okay.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't really get if you were zigging and
It
zagging
is.
there, buddy.
It's kind of weird.
Keanu, okay. It is.
It's gotta
Keanu.
It is. It is. Just believe, trust.
Okay, guys, here we go. The one you've been waiting for. This famous rock band / musician recently
Was he a musician?
Partnered.
Was he a musician?
Hey, you're one to fucking talk, Lau. All right,
He
motherfucker.
isn't one to talk, but he is right. You did say
I am-
musician.
I did. All right.
I know
guilty.
a few musicians.
I like that you kind of caught it too, but you're like, no, move on. You're like,
If I move fast,
don't
maybe
break
they won't
character.
know.
Don't break character. If I move fast, I have a need for speed.
This famous rock band slash musician, I'm really fucking
Nailed it
struggling
first
to
try.
enunciate on that one, recently partnered with an adult toy making company to produce an exclusive line of themed sex toys. Who are we talking about?
I've already got a
Soon
name.
inspire an entire line of sex toys. Is it Iron Maiden?
Iron Man's gonna get you.
Oh,
Could you imagine the nurse?
the Iran Maiden.
Ooh.
Is it Guar?
Ooh.
Would want anything associated with that band anywhere near their privates?
Right. They're the ones that used to
Guar
jerk off and
sex
pee
toy.
into the audience, you know?
Is it Kiss?
Got a good ticket.
Lick it
Oh
up.
God, what haven't they marketed?
Dude, I was watching a thing.
Look it up. That's good.
I was watching a thing, and it was basically Gene Simmons, his private collection of his toys, just his Kiss toy lines.
Oh, yeah, that's nuts.
And it was like a fucking,
Yeah,
it was
it's
like
ri- it's
3
ridiculous.
stories.
I think they've done 3 pinball machines too.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no,
it's one of those
insane.
Kiss
I used to
pinball
work for
machines. It's
somebody who
fucking
had one of them.
awesome.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one, but one of them is really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so Iron Maiden, Guar, Kiss, or Motley Crue?
I'm sorry. Repeat the question.
This famous rock band, I was trying to put musician in there because I was hoping you'd think of Eddie Money question was coming, recently partnered with an adult toy making company to produce an exclusive line of themed sex toys. Which band
Okay.
will you soon
Well, see, when you said musician, my first thought was Tommy Lee, because
Yeah.
all I ever hear about is like he's in the news all the time, but it's
Yeah.
usually related to his dick. But Motley Crue as a band doesn't make as much sense, especially given the fact that
Well, no, they're all pretty much sluts. I mean, there's-
yeah, but I mean,
there's
okay, close your
porn,
eyes and picture like sexuality.
yeah.
You don't picture Vince Neil, Mick
Well,
Mars,
he's been in
God
pornos.
bless him.
No,
Looks,
not Mick. I don't think Mick is probably had hard on and probably.
this is probably the wrong way to look at it anyway. God, I wanted to be Iron Maiden, but I don't know. They have a funny sense of humor, but I feel like they protect their brand a little bit more than that.
Oh yeah.
Kiss is the complete opposite of that. So I'm going to go with Kiss. Although, God, wait a minute. That's too on the nose.
Which one
And
does?
that it couldn't be a
hidden-
recent thing that they've just now done Kiss related.
I don't know, man. They make that last final farewell tour that they've done 20 times, and you know,
Sounds like a trap. So that was Motley Crue.
Okay, Motley Crue, Kiss,
Guar and Iron Maiden.
Guar. You know what?
Oh yeah, baby. I
I'm
hear
going.
what-
I'm
Yes.
going with the semen monster barf on your audience herring. I'm going to go
yes.
with Guar. Guar,
live
the
like this.
sex toy.
This is a new path for you in
I think I
life,
said
Ron.
Tory, so we're all on the same page now. Yeah, they made a sex story.
Oh fuck.
Guar would be a great a safe word if you think about it. Guar. Guar.
John Mark.
Seems like she should be married.
Yeah, I'm going with Guar.
Oh yes.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Oh, if you got us on this one, that's got to be satisfying.
I honestly think the Iron Maiden one would be great because there's so many
I want to believe it, but can you
facets.
picture? I can picture.
Somewhere in time, it'd just be Eddie standing there.
I can maybe picture Bruce signing off on that more than I could Steve, and Steve runs the band.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah, Harris.
I don't think he would get behind it. No pun intended. We'll see.
Well, I haven't. I
Oh,
haven't
wait a minute.
answered yet.
Power Slave?
Yes, see what I'm talking about? We got all those good little genres of music you go by. I was thinking the Trooper.
Cumber of the Beast.
Well, originally it was with the original singer with Women in Uniform.
Paul
Women in Uniform. Sometimes it gets so cold.
Yeah, Paul Diano would definitely get behind it.
Oh yeah. But God damn it, I kind of want to feel like it should be a family game. Because I know gore is...
Well, that's the safe bet at this point
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm going to go with gore, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put you down for. We all went with Guar.
Either way,
I
you
have,
didn't lose anything on that one.
I have photos to share with you at the end, so you'll get to get a nice taste.
That's exciting.
Well, it's Van Halen.
Well, if I'm gonna be wrong, I want it
Fine.
to be Iron Maiden.
Yeah, dude, that'd be killer.
Just because you're gonna get your pre-order on.
Well, yeah, you'd have like the onks dildo.
I was disappointed with the flashlight, but maybe the heady.
Yeah, the Eddie.
Get it? The heady? Okay.
The Eddie. Oh, I get it. I do get it, Ron. Okay. Question 4. Listen up, fellas. This is important. According to one major study, your chances of your lady being in the mood for sexual relations are much greater than normal. If this happens, much greater.
Much.
Is it A, if you've done chores she normally does?
Her chores.
Get the juices flowing a little
We're
bit.
in dangerous territory already.
It seems like slavery.
I know. Is it B, you've watched a very scary movie together?
No, isn't that the best? Like when you're young,
Yeah,
and you
a
go
little
see a
scary.
scary movie
Yeah,
with
yeah,
a girl,
just-
maybe you haven't gotten to second base yet, and then she's
They're
all
cuddling
over,
in.
jumps
Yeah,
all over
that's-
you. Well,
You're like, here we go.
horror movies have oddly gotten a lot of people laid.
Well, you put the hole in the bottom of the popcorn thing, and you stick your
lie.
dick in there, and you're like, "Hey, did you ever see the tentacle out of the popcorn?"
Didn't they do that in a
What are
Foo
you trying to
Fighters
say?
video?
Tentacle.
I think so.
Tentacle warning.
On the bottom, it's the best.
It's
Is it
fingers looking
C?
good.
You have a much better chance of her being in the mood if you haven't shown signs of interest in her.
Now, see, that's the hidden secret of all.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
really
listen up,
is.
gents. If you're
Talk
trying
about
to
this
get her
later.
attention, ignore her.
Yeah.
I learned
Don't
that
give her any
accidentally.
attention.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Or is it D? Her tum-tum's full.
Oh
Just sloshing
boy,
back and forth.
good fucking answers.
Thank you.
It's gonna be
Again,
tough.
according to one major study done recently, your chances of your lady being in the mood for sex are much greater than normal if you've done chores she normally does, you've watched a scary movie together, you haven't shown any signs of interest in her, or her tum-tum's full. Ronster.
Well, oh god,
I wonder how many women are fucking furious right now.
I bet most of them
It's a show.
are just
Sorry,
picking.
guys.
I think they're
I gotta-
just picking
I'm
their
writing for these
answer.
fools. I'm writing for these fools, not you. Okay?
I think they're just picking their answer. No, they know. They know themselves way more than we do. I am torn between ignoring them. Now, here's the thing. I am not a proponent of playing mind games, and I know that a lot of this pickup culture mentality will give these poor hapless incels all the advice in the world. One thing that is consistent that I see that I can't say isn't kind of right is not ignore her, but, and this is strictly from straight male going to straight woman. I don't know anything about any other walk of life. Let me be clear on that. And that's just my experience. When I started actually getting busy, I had relentless attention from the females. It wasn't a mind trick, wasn't a game. I know that's something a lot of dudes are told to pretend, you know, if she texts you, don't get back right away. It feels weird to be like all fakey about that, but I have seen the results of that just living that life. There is something, I don't know that that's a female and male thing necessarily. It's like it creates an element of scarcity, I suppose. More importantly, it probably allows room for them to think about you and wonder about you and a little bit of mystery, and maybe they don't know where they stand with you. That's kind of exciting. That's all part of the whole back and forth of relations. I don't know if that translates as much to established. This seems like an established relationship. So I think I'm swaying more toward the other answer that I completely forgot while I was doing my TED Talk.
Doing the
Chores,
laundry.
scary movie, the interest
Doing her
one,
chores.
or tum-tum.
God damn it, these are two good questions. They're all good. Because God knows, if you have cooked for a woman, you didn't say you cooked for him. You said full tum-tum.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, why do I want to be righter on this one than I do the others? I'm going to go out on a...
You're very invested. I love it.
I'm going to go out on a different limb here. I'm going to go with A, that you did the chores that they normally do.
Okay. Put you down for A.
That one seems the most sexist in an odd way, but not necessarily.
Well, it doesn't have to be like that she does all the chores. Like, I divvy up the chores,
it's just
right? Like
a chore that she does.
Take on more, than you normally do.
You're right.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with A.
Okay. John Mark.
But it's probably C.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to go with A2. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. Well, what I found is that if you ignore them, here's the deal. Women want what they can't have. And if you make yourself...
we all do.
People. I think that's people.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. And if you set yourself up in kind of a situation where you're aloof, you're a little, hey, whatever, maybe we'll talk about it next week or something.
Balloons.
It's, I'm just saying I think that's what it is.
So
it's a thing, but I do want to stress you shouldn't.
I mean, we shouldn't have that answer as
there's so much
40
to it,
fucking 7-year-old people.
There's so much to that answer.
But
there's the attractiveness of just not being available, but there's also usually, hopefully, it's not an act and you actually are unavailable. You're busy, you're doing your own things, you're focusing on your own life, your career, whatever. That's attractive to a lot of people. There's a lot to that answer. That's why I still think it might be C, but
oh, he's coming up in his life. Look at that.
That's the one you're going with, though, Lyle?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's go over some answers here. See what happened. Question 1. Watching that Industrial Light and Magic documentary was fucking amazing. Hope you all go do it. So I'm going to go over some of these incorrect. One of the correct. Excuse me.
Musician.
Make me sound good, Ron.
Yeah,
You know what,
I
dude?
gave up on that.
I'll equalize the voice.
Perfect. I'll boost it so everyone can hear your flagrant mistake.
Compress it, make it more crisp.
Yeah.
Put a little reverb on it.
Isolate.
Musician.
Let me tighten that up a little bit. That's crystal clear.
Make you sound like the drums on Death Magnetic.
Whoa.
Pixar was indeed established at Industrial Light and Magic. They had developed it as a computer that would generate graphics for them, and it became such a big deal. And you were also wrong, because Steve Jobs was the person that initially purchased Pixar.
Yeah.
I think it did go on to become. I don't think he had an owner, or he sold it at some point. But yeah, and I thought that was fucking amazing. Another one that was correct was one of the engineers was like, "Gosh, I really wish I had some software where I could just edit this fucking photo, change the shit around." So he had his fucking engineer friend write the code up, and this eventually would become Photoshop. He left Industrial Light and Magic, made Photoshop. Adobe would buy it at some point. So yeah. He established Photoshop.
He found the people that knew what they were doing.
That guy's got to be rich.
Fucking Star Wars. He was like, and it wasn't George Lucas. Sometimes this is one of his engineers, like one of his dudes, doing one of the shots. Industrial Light and Magic has been responsible for nearly all the MCU's special effects to date.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Killing it. So the one that was accurate, the one that was true, was that the one I made up was that actually George Lucas had, excuse me. Industrial Light and Magic was established 10 years prior to George Lucas and Star Wars. That's not true. He built it during Star Wars. He wanted a company to be able to do these effects. Nobody could do them, so he just made his own.
Why did I not go with that? I feel like I even said I knew that, but
Didn't watch.
felt like that.
You didn't watch the doc yet. That's why.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was finished. John Mark got that correct for a point, though. Okay, question 2, and I have a photo for this, of course. I'm going to just send this right over text to y'all. I'm just going to take it on my phone. 30 years ago, the sexiest man alive, gentlemen. I present to you the sexiest man alive, People magazine. Here you are.
It's like,
is he just in his own world back there and entertaining himself?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, that's what you want from your child.
Yeah.
Stuff in their own world.
Fucking amazing, right?
Nick
I should have
Nolte,
known.
the sexiest man alive. Well, he's got a rugged
Handsome, right? Yeah.
In a high voice sort of way.
Was that pre motorcycle accident?
I don't know when he had his motorcycle accident.
Are you thinking of Gary Busey?
Oh yes, I am.
Oh yeah.
I think this is pre classic mugshot. Look up the Nick Nolte mugshot. It's one of the greatest.
Oh, that shit's funny.
I think it was one of the backgrounds of Joe Rogan's original podcast. But anyway, Nick fucking Nolte, the Nolte herring, the rarest of herrings, I think, on this.
Rarest
program.
of all herrings.
Okay,
What the fuck was he in?
Like I think 48 hours and like all sorts of stuff.
We already said that.
92.
Name another. Name one other.
That one? All right, now I'm looking it up.
Yeah, look it up when let Chris finish.
Point Break. He was in Point Break for sure.
Are we sure he's in Point Break? I don't remember him in Point Break.
He's in Point Break.
Yeah, he was there.
I believe him. Well, I'm outnumbered.
He was his partner.
Who's partner?
Connor Reeves' partner.
It has been so
FBI.
fucking long. Oh. Okay.
Speaking
He was
of,
in The Prince of Tides in '91.
oh yeah, he was in Off Weird, but
Oh, that's a weird ass depressing movie, Prince of Tides.
yeah.
That's the one with Robin Williams, and he's like losing his shit, right?
I think so. Or was that The Fisher King?
Oh, that's a Fisher King. Nick Nolte. Most questionable career of
he was in
all.
Cape Fear in '91.
Okay.
Keep
going.
The Playa in '92. Lorenzo's Oil in '92.
Okay.
Heartbreaking.
I'm starting to feel better.
The I was
saw
gonna
Lorenzo.
say, have you kind of like off-put Joe completely? Because he's got a couple episodes that are out that are really good.
No, if I felt the need to tune in, I'll tune in. But I've stopped listening to him on a regular basis.
You remember the guys about the shorter dryad period that happened up
Younger
here in the
Dryas.
Pacific? Yeah, he brought them back on, and there's some really good stuff. He's got his own
The Younger Dry Ass.
The what? I don't know what you guys are saying.
You know where deep, not deep.
Geological.
Yeah, you know where Deep Lake is. You know where like Lake Roosevelt and all it is. That used to be a giant waterfall. I mean, that's where a incident hit that melted all the ice back in the
Okay.
Younger Dryads period.
Dryads.
But
No
it
one
carved
knew what
out.
they were
Well, it
doing.
carved out our old valleys that we live in. It's fascinating shit. If you haven't fucking listened to it, you really got to listen to
that's
it.
the
And
thing.
they brought them back on.
Joe has amazing guests, and he asks good questions.
I can't remember.
It's not all
I can't remember-
dipshits and.
Like I can't remember the guy's name, but he's got like glasses, kind of skinny
It's
guy.
Graham Hancock.
Graham
and
Hancock.
I can't remember the other guy.
He started his own Netflix show and talking about all this stuff. So if you want to get interested and educated on it, just pop it in.
Okay.
He
That
talks
does sound
about all that stuff.
By the way, I have to mention that
Take it with a grain of salt.
Linda Godfrey just passed away. Paranormal monsters researcher. I don't know if you guys remember. We had her on the show way back in the day.
Oh,
Sure did.
I think American Myths and Monsters, or she wrote a lot of books. She was always on Coast to Coast AM. One of our best guests, I think. She was great, and we didn't give her too hard of a time. But yeah, she just
I
passed
saw
away.
Coast to Coast AM put a thing up about her. I didn't even correlate that it was the same person. I couldn't remember her name.
Yeah.
Bummer. That's sweet. Okay, well, all right for you, lady. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll try to find some place online that streams that episode. I couldn't find it on YouTube, but maybe I'll post it in the comments section of the. That was the old show.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
That'd be neat.
it was a good show.
Okay. This famous rock band recently, a musician, recently partnered with an adult toy making company to produce an exclusive line of themed sex toys. We were talking about motherfucking Guar, and I have some photos of their exclusive sex toy line here,
Okay.
and it looks pretty on brand, but sophisticated? Question mark? I'm not sure.
Okay, well,
Y'all got that correct for point.
this first one looks more like something out of Game of Thrones, some sort of dragon coming out of a brain. I mean, it's a dragon penis.
There's the cuttlefish of Cthulhu.
There you go.
Look at that one they put the soda can next to it. It's like, holy shit. It must be like the crippler.
Jesus Christ.
Is this anal or for vaginal use?
That's
I mean, like, I think it's just split you down the middle. Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Y'all got that right for a point a pop. John Mark is still in the lead though, with 2 points.
We need
Well,
that
y'all
guar
have
saved word with any of those toys.
Guar!
Guar, guar. You just pull it out of the box. Guar. I call guar.
Yeah, I've had enough.
Clear a path.
That was fucking hilarious. Go, eel.
Poor fucking eel.
Clear a path to release.
Father, why hast thou forsaken me?
I must dig further.
This won't end well for either of us.
Yeah.
Just clear a path, you'll be fine.
You think that eel came out of that fucking stomach and was just like, kill me?
I just want to know if
Things
that
I've seen.
eel survived.
Yeah. I mean, well, it was causing problems when they took it out. I mean, it had chone. Oh, God.
Tune. He had tune his way out.
It seemed right at the time.
This seems righter now.
Tune. I like how my initial quandary was tune or chone.
Yeah, which one? We've narrowed it down to 2 logical choices. Is it tune? We need a poll. Audience, tune or chone? Is what the eel did.
Definitely tune.
Yeah, I'm on Team Tune.
Okay.
That was like a nickname you give one of your dipshit buddies. Is Tune coming over tonight? Okay.
Oh, fuck. Okay. According to one major study, your chances of your lady friend being in the mood for sex is much greater when her tum-tum's full, guys. All you gotta do is go to Taco Bell.
Yeah.
That seems crazy. That's like,
Well, if you're cooking, 100%, but that wasn't part of the quest.
I find that dangerous.
Warm and the way it is. I do not like fucking on a full tum-tum.
No,
I'll tell you that straight away. There's got to be a good 3 Mississippi between eating and fucking.
word.
All right. Well,
Anyway,
well, that could be something that is tune on over the from now until the next episode, and let us know. Full tum-tum. Well, there you go. Don't do the dishes. Don't don't ignore her.
I can't hear you. Oh, sorry. Mute.
No. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Who can't you hear?
No, sorry. I was muting myself because my kid was like, meow, meow. Anyways, John Mark is our winner. Congratulations, sir, with 2 points.
yay.
Nice.
Tune.
Damn it.
That
was
chewing
tough.
your way out of this
Fucking round.
time.
Good one.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't know shit.
No.
Well,
All right, well, let's get some time for our movie night.
yeah, we'll figure that out. First off, we need to figure out our audience participation.
Yes, and I'm gonna put a post up eventually once this episode drops about if you're interested, leave a comment, and I'll start making a note of the people that are really into it because it'll be something we have to, I think, email out to people.
Well, what I think we should do is do that, but then have like 4 choices on which movie to watch.
No, we're watching Nope.
Yeah, we can do that
for
in
the
the
first
future.
time.
We can do that in the
been
future.
decided.
And then just vote for whoever
It's got to be Nope.
Yeah.
Nope it has to happen. I got to get all y'all's responses to that.
Yeah.
I just got it.
I also don't know that we will get a consensus if we do a poll. I don't think we have enough people. If we gave them a few choices, we would maybe be able to do that. But yeah, I'm down for Nope. I've been hearing some good things about it. It sounds more like Yep.
Okay, so what we have to do is figure out.
No?
We could do it on different players, but what happens is that like we would all have to have like say Amazon Prime.
Are you sure you can't just stream it over Discord?
No, You have to have all.
I think you can.
You can. You can totally.
If it's a
stream
private
whatever's
room, I don't
playing
see
on
why
your
you
screen,
wouldn't be
You
able
can
to.
stream it on Discord. Trust me.
Yeah.
I've been watching people stream entire movies on TikTok. It's just them pointing.
I'll pull up my finest kennel porn, and we'll do a little test run. So
Okay.
Ron's engaged, and yeah.
Well, it's got to be a copyrighted
It's literally
one,
just
though.
a screen share. You're just like showing what's on your screen. It doesn't. It can be anything.
Yeah, because it'd be a private room, right? Like we wouldn't be.
Yeah.
like,
That's what I'm
you
saying.
would
If we
need-
could do some kind of video chat between the 3 of us, and whoever's, and if it's me, it's me.
we'll test it.
And we just have that little box of our head somewhere,
Yeah.
you know. If it's just the screen share, there's got to be a way to do this.
There's got to be.
Yeah. Well, typically you do it through OBS, but and then just
We'll work
mix
it out. I'll
everything
start doing some
together.
research.
Like
Yeah.
I'm motivated.
I know nothing about
little collagen
Discord, so
goodness.
but we'll play with it.
All right.
It's all good. It's whatever. I know.
All right,
I know.
guys.
If you're using Twitch to do it, I know you have to have like coinciding fucking Prime. You know, because it's Prime. You know, Twitch is Prime.
Yeah, but this is
You'd
different.
have to get it, but everybody would have to have Twitch Prime to watch the video.
Yeah.
Watch the video.
As long as we get
All
a
right,
good,
guys.
good clear stream of it, I think we'll be in
Is it still snowing?
No, not right now. But they were kind of hesitant about whether we're going to get this storm. So we shall see. Anywho, let's get on out of here. Next week, we'll be talking about 9/11.
9/11.
And until then, you've got plenty to have tune on.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Say June. Joan? June.
Well, it's a party now. Tune arrived. I am on Teen Tune. Okay, guys. We'll see you next week.
Night, guys.
Bye.
All right. Good night.
Bye.
Was causing problems when they took it out. I mean, it had chone. Oh god,
Tune.
Tune.
He had tune his way out.
It seemed right at the time.
This seems righter now.